How dear of you to let me out of jail.
It's only for the holidays.
Oh, God, but I do love being king.
Hello, Al Pals. This is Films with Friends. Of course, I am Big Al, your kingly host for the evening. We are tonight. Well, I got my whole intro all totally screwed up in my head. This is Films with Friends. Of course, the film is the 1968 Academy Award winning film. When I say Academy Award winning, it was Katharine Hepburn, because the guys did not know good stuff as there. But it's still when the Academy Awards actually meant something. Katharine Hepburn won the award for Best Actress. Peter O'Toole was nominated. The film was nominated. John Barry was nominated. It was a huge film that year, and it is one of my favorite films of all time. So, I realized it takes place at Christmas, so I thought, hey, it's December. Let's watch a medieval Christmas movie. But I do have a warning for Troy in a moment, though. But, of course, let me introduce my wonderful God, I cannot talk tonight.
What are you sipping on tonight?
I have my Mountain Dew. Okay, but I think I just got a little confibulated. That even a
now
word?
he's making up words.
I'm making them up now, boys and girls. But yes, Lion in Winter. But my court of the evening, Lady Netter herself, the lovely Lady Netter of Netter's Network. How are you doing, my lady? And what is in your flagon tonight?
Hi, I'm doing pretty well, and I am drinking Polar Black Cherry Seltzer Water.
Sounds good. And, of course, her object of she being the object of his courtly love. Yeah, I had to try to flip that around.
More like a jester.
Sir, well, hey, I was going to knight you, but if you want to be a jester, I'll make you a jester. Sir Troy Pacelli, how are you doing, sir? And what are you drinking tonight?
I am, well, Netter just handed me a Diet Cherry Coke. Well, okay. I guess I have to be specific. Cherry Coke Zero. So, I mean, it's not diet. It's the difference between aspartame and Splenda.
I like Sir Torrance getting Mountain Dew spiked with vodka.
Yeah, I think what it is like, here's what happens. I have the routine in my head. Yeah, I mean, well, I just have the thing I normally say it. If I trip over myself, it literally takes out. It's like a domino.
Yeah,
it's just the domino, and my tongue and I just can't think of anything I say. But once I knock the right domino out, I kind of get into the right groove. I'm fine. I'm finding it right now. It's just through the intro got a little screwy. But
You know how many times I almost mess up when I do the sign off?
oh, I know. Yeah, I do all that. Well,
Do you know how hard it was to end the show yesterday without your sign off? I was like, bye.
I love you guys.
I told you need to record it, and then you could play whatever.
Well,
I always thought about doing that with my 10-word review exit thing, because it's almost always the same, but sometimes I'll add a little, like I'll say, find something fun to watch, like this movie one, or
yeah.
So it's always different. So the only thing that's really pre-taped is the little intro part. Everything else I wing it from beginning to end, and it's usually in one take, though I might trim it. But let me see who's in the chat tonight. I know Connie Cleary was first.
She was first, absolutely.
How are you doing, my dear? Thank you. Netter's Network is saying hi to everybody. And last call was Sir Troy Pacheco. I was wondering, did he lose me a StreamYard? Yeah, I see. It started with me Xing out. That's what did it. I had my own little technical meltdown for a moment, and I had to get back. I had to get things straight. So I was a little discombobulated.
No worries.
That is words. See, I'm getting it. I'm getting my head back. Of course, the Cosme link is at the top of the chat, which I'm going to be watching myself because my copy is a little shorter, by like 4 minutes. So I'm just going to watch this one, so I know we're all watching the same thing. Kind of clear. Came back saying hi to everybody. Mr. Londell's Groovy Movies, greetings and felicitations. Hip hip hurrah and tally ho. Thank you, Sir Squire of Gothos. Much appreciated. Sir Torrin Clegane, an actual one who just calls himself Sir Torrin. Okay.
Yes.
Exactly. I think it's fake the teaser for season 2 of House of Dragon. It dropped today. The king in this movie
I heard about
was
that.
a combatant in the Anarchy, basis for the Dance of the Dragons. Cool. I enjoyed. I'd never watched Game of Thrones. I mean, I saw a few episodes here and there. I never really got to watching it, but I watched House of Dragons. I really liked it. I liked the actors in it, and I guess I'll watch season 2.
I had said I am not watching House of the Dragons until it ends at this point. I want to know that it's a good series throughout, and it comes to a reasonable conclusion before I invest.
Yeah, I usually go that route, but I don't know. I watch it to check it out to see what it was like, and I was like, wow, this is really good. So I just kept watching it. I'm kind of waiting for Upload to finish its run. On Prime. It's a weird show that I kind of like. I watched the first couple of seasons. I kind of liked it. This third. I'm watching Monarch week to week because I'm loving that. And something else out there that I'm watching. Nothing yet. I got a few that I'm kind of waiting for. Deleted Scenes. Hell yeah, he's on another channel. We'll join in shortly. Well, take your time. Joshua V, welcome aboard. Thank you for coming in. I think I got everybody. Yes, The Lion in Winter. No, not The Wind in the Lion, or the other one that always
happens.
That one too, right?
Wind in the Lion. It's got Sean Connery in it, but which.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe?
Birdman always gets confused with Lion in Winter, just a great actor's piece. Now comes the caveat for Troy Pacelli.
Okay.
Don't worry about historical accuracy. They have a Christmas tree. We know that wasn't a thing. There's some other things that I believe that are in there that I'm not even sure about anymore. I kind of read them and I just kind of forgot, because this is not the kind of film you watch for historical accuracy. This is something to watch the actors with their craft and listen to some really good writing. I believe, written by William Goldman, who from his stage play, or no, James Goldman. Sorry, he's his younger brother is William Goldman, the guy who did Princess Bride, I believe. I think. Did I get that right? Was William Goldman the one that did Princess Bride?
I confused too, so I'm
Yes.
probably the wrong one to ask.
Yes, he did. He also did Butch Cassidy, Marathon Man, a couple other ones. Yeah, that's the younger brother. James Goldman is mainly known for the Lion and Winter, and he did Robin and Marion, and Nicholas and Alexandra, Oliver Twist, White Knights, which is I know some people
Love that one, yeah.
kind of like. So yes, big one for me. Love this movie. Have either of you two watched it? And has anybody in the chat seen it?
I have to admit that when you first announced that we'd be seeing this, I thought I had caught this on like a Family Classics, on Sunday. And honestly, the more I've looked at this, the more I think I have not. But what you say about historical accuracy, I think I've said something along these lines before. There are some movies that you go into, and obviously, on the extreme end is the comedies, the farces, and stuff like that. Those, when they're not historically accurate, of course they're not. But there is some other films, and this is probably one of them, I'm guessing, where, like you say, you don't come into this expecting historical accuracy. You're coming into it looking for historical inspiration, right? And a good story, right?
Right.
My big problem is when films purport to be accurate, imply that you should expect that kind of accuracy, and it is so not that you're like, well, this is ridiculous. Kind of like, and of course this is fiction, not history, but when I go off about Bram Stoker's Dracula, I'm like, if you call it Bram Stoker's Dracula, and then you put in that whole stupid reincarnation love story,
Yeah, it's not.
that takes a lot of nerve, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I'm feeling right now about this whole situation with what's it called? I almost said Josephine.
Napoleon.
Yeah. But
I watched,
that may have more to do with the director's comments off screen. But
yeah, I saw Napoleon. I was very disappointed. I just expected more.
I feel like that's even worse. If you're going to do a movie like we're talking about tonight, you're not going to get the history right. It's got to be a good story that people love. And that doesn't sound like what we got with Napoleon.
Yeah, I was hoping for Braveheart, and I got Alexander.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Now that really puts the point on it.
Yeah, so it's kind of just kind of meh. But let's go ahead and get started here because it is a long film.
Yeah, and we can talk about it as it
does
goes.
say, woo, and I've got lots of tabs. I need to get myself straight here because, like I said, things went crazy earlier and everything. So yes, it is on Cosme. I hope does that. Oh, that helps out a lot. I'm not going to be able to see the Cosme chat though. Okay, so I'll do it this way. Where do you have it queued up?
I got it from the black screen right before whatever it was, an Avco Embassy film. Yeah,
because several of the versions have, like, there's one that has an MGM, and then there's one that has Studio Canal, depending on who put out whatever.
So whatever, if you're watching us in the future and trying to sync up with us, just get to after that.
Right, and get to it right before Avco,
yeah,
and you're good. Also love, one of my favorite things about this opening, that John Barry horn, John Barry music. That did win an Academy Award. as did the screenwriter. So
I did hear, as I was testing out my copy, I did hear the opening music and whatnot. I'm like, ooh, this is pretty.
Yeah,
good.
it's like dun 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 dun.
Of course, it made me think of Belt from last week. Dun dun dun.
That's funny,
Right?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Okay, so I'll do the countdown and you'll start it.
You bet.
Everybody's ready to go. In 3, 2, 1, hit it.
There we go.
An Avco Embassy film.
Whoops.
Whoa!
Well,
I am seeing
bear with me,
into the
it's-
distant universe.
Where did it go?
Screen.
We're gonna start this over again.
Oh,
We're gonna start
I'm
this over again because I
falling
don't know where it went.
So you went into Twin Peaks land.
Yeah, but
No, it's like
how
the
did it
Willy,
just close up on me?
it's like the Willy Wonka.
Where did it go? Okay, guys, give me a second. Let me
Okay.
see. Now I'm having problems, just like you.
Is that Twin Peaks?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're all set for Tuesday.
yeah, yeah. I was originally okay. Here we go. Give me a second to share again.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I just bollocks that.
It's very touchy. I noticed because I've done it a few times, and I try not when I'm doing it. I try not to touch the mouse
Yeah.
because it just the slightest vibration seems to like take it down.
Excuse me.
Okay. Get rid of
I'm
you.
talented enough to choke on air.
You up. Okay.
There we go.
And we'll start over again. Okay, let me
Hey.
blow this up. And okay,
3,
now we're
2, 1, hit it.
there we
An Avco Embassy.
go. All right. Hands off now. Hands off. Yeah, there's dun dun dun. See?
Dun, dun.
Ah,
I love
that
these
statue kind of looks
these
like Peter
statue
O'Toole.
movies.
That doesn't look anything like Katharine Hepburn, though. What year was this again?
1968.
Oh, if I had just waited a second, there it is.
The Lion in Winter.
So another thing I was just thinking of the other day, I don't know.
Timothy Dalton was in this?
Yes, wasn't
Yeah.
this like his first film?
I believe so.
Yeah,
He's that
And-
old?
And
He was
Anthony
really young in
Daniels'
this one.
Second film.
I don't know if you used to, but I know that Netter used to get a lot of nasty comments on some of her old streams. People looking for the movie and not seeing
Right.
it and getting all
Right.
upset about it. Now, what you can say to those people if they leave comments is, hey, had you been here live, you could have watched along with us.
Oh, I got the nasty comments on the, like the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving
yeah.
and Christmas specials.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Those ones. Because they're like, yo,
I
I can't
got,
watch it. Da, da, da.
I got it for Darby O'Gill and Ghost of Mr. Chicken.
Yeah, and so now what you can say to them as well, next time, hit subscribe, notification bell, and keep an eye on us for Saturday. Watch with us live.
And I'm always saying at the
Billy
beginning,
C says he
Cosme
only
link
has
is
the
pinned to the top.
VHS.
Wow, there you go.
Music composed and conducted by John Barry. I think when they were talking about doing the film, Charlton Heston's name was mentioned. But once Peter
Let's see.
O'Toole got involved,
Yeah.
he wanted Katharine Hepburn.
Huh.
And Katharine Hepburn, Peter O'Toole at the time had kind of a reputation for being, he was a hard drinker, partied, late to set,
Yeah.
sometimes wasn't ready, a little hungover. Katharine Hepburn put a kibosh on that day one. She said,
Wow.
"We'll show up on time and you will be ready to go."
Yeah.
But they got along very well. They weren't like,
No, lay the ground rules to begin with. You know where you stand. Because he's kind of feeling like I just kind of blew it there.
It's really funny seeing Nigel Terry playing King John, well, Prince John at this point. And then seeing him about 10, 12 years later being King Arthur.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
King John was not exactly known for his military prowess.
Yeah. Howdy, JPRPH1.
Oh, welcome. Samuel Proctor. Like I said, if you guys want to...
we did start, but you know what? That's the great thing about Cosme. You only missed a couple minutes. You can jump right in where we're at.
Yeah, it literally just started.
I don't know who that is, but she's cute. She ain't Katharine Hepburn.
That's Jane Marrow. She's playing Alice. She is Philip's half-sister, Henry's mistress, and she is betrothed to whoever the next king is. But she's sleeping with him. So
can you imagine? You know, that's your plan. You know, I'm betrothed to whomever the king's going to be. Because that's just how I roll.
But I'm sleeping with his dad.
Right.
There's a lot of weird stuff in this film like that, but, you know, this was back in the days of arranged marriages and... the great bitch. One of the great knights in history, William Marshall.
I've been watching a new... Samuel Proctor says I've been watching a new movie video essayist called Movie Wise, and he recommended this. I was excited for this. I haven't paid attention to a video essayist in years. Hey, you know, look, just like with commenters and reviewers, they're not all made the same. Check them out. Find one that you like. Stick with them.
Here's what gets me is the helmets.
The
helmets are like
two different eras.
Oh yeah, like hundreds of years ahead of their time. That's like totally like 15th century, maybe even 16th.
I saw a Greek. Wow, he is young.
Yes, he is.
So I cut off your head and I cut out your heart, and you'll be at rest.
Unless he cuts to the mill, he can't cut off his head.
He was doing this with a broken arm.
Was he really?
Yeah, he broke his arm. He fell off the horse. The horse reared up and threw
wow. Probably lent something to his portrayal there. The sweat on his face is probably real.
Might have.
Kind of expect to see the Statue of Liberty there.
I think this was filmed in Ireland, if I believe correctly.
Yeah, those beaches all look alike.
Yeah, it's supposed to be northern France or western France, somewhere in there. Wherever I think it's Chinon.
Let's zoom in on this guy's face.
I love how the intro of the princes highlights how each one is. You have the inept John, you have the war-hungry, battle-hardened Richard, and now you get Jeffrey, who is the planner, the strategist, and does not get his hands dirty.
Sir Torrin quotes me, all these beaches look alike. He says, that's racist. No, that's beachist. Let's get the terminology correct.
Second group, advance.
Surprise!
So who are these poor guys getting slaughtered?
You never really know. Back then, everybody was fighting everybody else, and small duchies were fighting other duchies.
See, that's just it. You might not even be fighting another country. You could just be fighting another, noble within your own country.
Yeah.
It does seem odd to be fighting on a beachhead, though.
Yeah, it's not the best footing for your horses.
And you're right. They each respond very differently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the one son is eager to learn and advance.
Mm-hmm.
The other one's just like, I'm a jerk, so I'm just going to kill everybody.
And, history's treated each one of them different. I mean, Jeffrey, well, you never really hear about Jeffrey too much longer because, history. he dies much later, well, not much later, but he dies really before Henry, I believe.
She looks like a nun.
Well,
that is where that
she's kind of in her cloister.
Yeah. That is where it's this time period that the nun's habit and the wimple and everything kind of stems from.
Spoilers, Al. It's not actually part of the movie. That it's history. It's like watching Titanic and saying the boat sinks.
He's spoiling the unfilmed sequel.
Yeah. The Lion in Spring.
Right, there you go. There you go.
Easter Eshidon. No, it's
now I see that shot and I think, oh, it could be a Hammer film.
I would not be surprised if they haven't filmed something at this point.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Someone tells me the water's a little cold.
I was gonna say, cold enough for there to be ice. That's pretty wow.
Yep.
But talk about great visual storytelling, right? By having that piece of ice there tells you a lot about, the temperature and the weather and everything. Oh, I mean, if I really wanted to nitpick, I could talk about the use of language in this film. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you just kind of push that aside.
Yeah, certain terms.
Yeah.
Even the way, even when they say Your Majesty, that
Yeah.
wasn't used till much later. It was Your Grace
Right.
at the time.
It's like you're just kissing my fiance, that's all.
You almost look a little like Hugh Grant there. Well, she's actually no one's fiance.
Yeah, nobody knows who's going to be the next king.
Yeah, whoever the next king is.
Okay, you're kissing my potential fiance.
Potential, yeah. That's it. Oh my gosh, you're right.
Yep.
He's so young, though.
Tree.
They're all so young.
Have we seen Timothy Dalton yet?
No.
No, he comes in later.
No, when you see him, you'll recognize him. I mean, he's young, but he's not so young you wouldn't recognize him.
It's the 12th century. It's 1183 or 81.
Yeah, there's a lot of visual cues that would imply it's a lot later. You just kind of have to know the history.
This, of course, was the second time he played King Henry II, because he played him in Beckett as well.
Oh, okay.
I think the candle they showed to the side was really interesting. It was marked by numbers, so you know how many hours it had burned.
This is a great entrance.
It's like she has a hairy cheek.
Now, well, Eleanor was a great beauty of the day, but at this point she is 61, which I believe is the same age Katharine Hepburn was. So Henry, I believe, is 50, but Peter O'Toole was 31, I think. And Samuel Proctor getting into medieval European history. which the history is American. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love European history. I've said before, I used to do recreation of actually this period as well. Everything from the Viking Age through the 13th century I've done.
I've done a lot of looking into the history of language.
Oh, he was 36. Okay, I knew he was in his 30s. I thought he was a little younger than that.
How Latin worked its way into the Germanic languages to give us the English that we have today. Mm-hmm. Spattered in with French,
Did you ever see that series about that? How language evolved?
No, I don't think so.
It was really cool about how different words came into being.
Oh, yeah.
I forget the name of the series, though. If anybody knows it, I appreciate it.
She just said to her husband, "How nice of you to let me out of jail," and he said, "It's just for the holidays." She was in jail.
Yeah, he had her basically locked in a tower. She had led a rebellion against him.
So it's awfully nice of him to give her a furlough for the holidays.
Yeah.
He's wearing a beard. How would you know if his chin looked weak?
I mean, she's awfully pragmatic. She's not wrong.
No, she's not.
So the use of the term fiancé, that's another interesting one, because there was that. This was the time period when you would have had the Germanic and the French languages starting to come together. But yeah, this is not the English that they would be speaking, and the French that she would be speaking is not the French they would be speaking.
I like his crown.
Yeah, I was looking at that too, and I mean, I suppose a king could wear any kind of crown he wants at any given time. It seems like a pretty simple, easy one.
Mm-hmm. That's what I like about it. It's not like super ornate. It's like an everyday crown.
Right. It's like, I gotta throw this on so we can go do this thing.
Timothy Dalton.
Yep. Sir Terence says the one thing I was grateful to the French for was that when William conquered England, they got rid of all those elf names for their monarchs.
Yeah, I know what he's talking about.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I recognize him.
Elfric, Ethelstan, and they had that AE beginning.
Yeah.
For a lot of them. Ethelred the Already.
So young.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's pretty pragmatic, too.
He's a better what than he thought he'd be?
I think he said you were better at this than I thought you'd be.
Oh. Man, the hairstyles. Did they go at him with a weed eater?
He is the odd man out.
Yeah. Papa.
The one son does look just like the king.
Yeah.
Is he an actual relative?
No. No, sometimes you just get good casting.
I like Alice because she's been around and seen what these family does to each other.
Yeah.
Hi, Mr. Matchstick.
Oh, welcome, welcome.
Long time no see, dude.
See, the other thing is what I wish they would do when they do. We have this way with films where we do these sequels, right? Where you do a movie and then you do a sequel and you have all the same actors, right? And they age into the characters. Why don't they do that with historic epics? You know, I said that about Midway. Why did they have to do Midway the way they did? They could have turned it into 3 films. And if they'd turned it into 3 films, you could have had all the same actors. You could have just filmed them, you know, subsequently or, you know, at the same time. I don't know. got a complicated relationship, don't they?
Very. and it just gets more and more complicated.
The movie really captures the spirit of how much these people didn't like each other. Reading the book, I felt like Henry couldn't turn his head without... Well, you know what? That's kind of the way courts were. In fact, talk to Sir Torin a little bit about this. There's a lot of real history in Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm. Henry II was actually known to be a fairly good king.
That can be a hindrance to his heirs, because unless they're absolutely unified in how the succession goes, which clearly they're not, you're going to end up with a great deal of strife. Especially when you have a populace that perhaps liked the previous king and realize, yeah, his sons are not living up to it.
Yeah, but mainly, like, as far as bringing some laws into effect, I once heard a story, I don't know if it's true or not, that it was during this time that foot sizes started to be a thing.
Oh, so resulting in the
Like
styles where they had the longer...
Like, you know, shoemakers started their, you know, you could kind of have a certain size and they could match up. Now, I'm not sure that could just be something I'm remembering falsely, but
Can I just say, I really like the use of the dogs in the...
One of them looks like a wolf.
Yeah.
At least he's honest.
Good.
he's actually lying. I'm sure he did love her. In fact, I believe he still loves her.
Yeah, probably.
Now, what's Timothy Dalton's role in all this? He's from France, that much I know.
He's the king of France.
Right.
Right, and why is he there?
He is Alice's brother. She is part of a dower. Her dowry was the Vexen, or whatever it's called. And she should be married by now, and she's not. So he's kind of
Concerned.
Yeah, give me back the land, or give me my sister if you're not going to, live up to it. Like that cloak he's got.
I was literally thinking the exact same thing. I was looking to see where the seams were. Oh, okay. That's what I figured.
It's kind of like a mantle, but the back panel is longer.
Yep.
I love a mantle.
And think about it. It's appropriate for the season.
Mm-hmm. I follow all your slaughters. That's a great line. You could tangle spiders in the webs you weave.
Yeah. I was just thinking about this whole dialogue here.
Mm-hmm.
The way it's written and the way it's presented is so. The only way I could say it is theatric. You know, it is
was a play.
Exactly, and this harkens back to those days where movies were just filmed versions of plays,
mm-hmm.
and there's
just
something to be said for that kind of acting, you know.
And I've always said, if you watch older films, like especially after the talkies started, 30s and 40s, listen to how they talk.
Mm-hmm.
There's that projection,
right,
from their time on stage.
You'll still see the projection in actors that are used to live performances.
Yeah, well, like everybody here is like part of the Royal Shakespeare Company.
Absolutely. See, now there's a great example of what you might consider to be an anachronism that works really, really well, calling him Johnny, mm-hmm. you know?
See, they look alike.
They do. That's intentional, though.
That reasoning is sound.
Yeah, it is.
Richard is the most powerful of the three.
Right.
He's the oldest, and he could take from anybody.
You know what would have been a great follow-up to this if they'd have gone
I love
into...
this line. Did you hear what he said?
No.
He says, "Poor John, like something like nobody would care about me if I caught on fire. No one would piss on me to put me out."
Yeah.
And he says, "Let's strike a flint and see." I love that line.
Right.
The thing is, this guy acts so childish. He would make a horrible king.
But that is exactly. Yeah,
John was a horrible king.
And that one that's talking to his mom would just simply kill everybody.
I actually think he'd have been a decent king.
Do you really?
But
well,
I think he's a better advisor to it.
Yeah. And did he really have the desire for it, you know?
I think he'd have done it if it was offered, but I don't think he'd have. He's not in the position.
Exactly. I think he's of the mind. I'll take it if it's given to me, but if it's not, I'm okay with this cup passing from me.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was about to say is, how cool would it have been if they followed this up with like a Robin Hood story, where Richard is gone off and you know.
Well, Robin Hood's still quite a ways away.
Yeah, I know, but you could have. I mean, to even have Nigel Terry playing John in a Robin Hood story, how cool would that have been? You know, as if it was like a soft sequel to this.
The coats look warm. Yeah, they do.
That's the one thing I can say, accurate or not, with some of the costuming in this film, they definitely did think through what is appropriate for that time of year.
Right.
I'm sick and tired of seeing movies where people are dressed too warm in summer and too cold in winter just because they're going for a particular look, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Oh, baloney.
Yeah. Or like the 2018 Robin Hood. Why everybody looked like they were wearing modern clothes. Yeah, exactly.
God, watch that. It was so hard.
See, so I know you always think of me when it comes to historical inaccuracies, but I'm nuanced enough to realize there are degrees. But there are just some things I cannot stomach. I can't even...
I'm almost like that with Shakespeare plays.
Yeah.
Especially the histories. Now, as much as I love going there and watching it, I went to go see Henry V with the guy who played Perseus, Clash of Titans.
Oh, I know.
Harry Hamlin,
right.
It was a great production, great performances, but they had a World War I aesthetic.
Ah.
Like the soldiers wore fatigues. I was like, come on. Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I just realized that the son looks kind of like Russell Crowe in Gladiator. Yeah, a little bit. Talk about Game of Thrones. That's exactly what I was talking about, Mr. Lindell.
Mm-hmm. And this basically is kind of its own little Game of Thrones.
This is what
it's like one throne.
This is what I was saying. If you've seen Game of Thrones, look to history. In fact, that's probably what a lot of...
I love this toy.
Yeah, right? There's probably a lot of fans of Winds of Winter that are looking at the real history it was based on to try and figure out how it would have ended, because the fat man's never going to finish those stories. Okay, Al, do you think that toy is based on a real artifact? Because I could totally see it being.
I could totally see it. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure someone somewhere did one. Or something similar.
Okay. Help me out with my my timetables here. So, when is the next crusade?
Oh God, I don't know. Probably Richards.
Okay. But that's like what, 30 years in the future?
Yeah, he's Henry died when he was 56. So he's got 6 more years, and then Richard becomes king.
Gotcha. So maybe like 25 years, 20 years.
Hi, Lady Mist.
Oh, hello there.
Well, so Richard went off to crusade, but then Richard was only king for 10 years? I think 10.
Oh, hello, geek potatoes.
That's my tombstone. You spoil me. Okay, so if he had 6 more years, it must be 83 then. Yeah, 1183.
Okay.
Yeah, 1183. Okay.
Okay. Again, you yourself pointed out the whole, Christmas gift giving thing being anachronistic. But let's pretend that this was historically accurate. That seems like an appropriate way to wrap gifts.
Mm-hmm. In cloth.
Right.
But I do like the tree with the oranges, with the clove oranges on it.
These two are good.
Yeah, Geek Flag. Yeah, we talked about the tree. Like I said, I think they did a lot of things to just kind of push the point that it was Christmas.
Right. There was some sort of a solstice celebration, wasn't there? Or feast or something?
Yeah, they probably did have a solstice feast.
I mean, because honestly, especially at those latitudes, when the weather started getting cold and the nights got longer and the harvests were done.
Yeah, the Yuletide. It's I'm just wondering, like, with England at the time, which fiercely religious, if they would have thought the pagan ways were a bit uncouth.
Yeah, perhaps.
Hello.
Yeah. Get some chapped nips that way. She is good.
Mm-hmm. I believe she's able to bring it, though, because it actually is in her.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But she's able to turn it on and off.
Oh, yeah.
So wait, which one's going to become king?
Richard. The Aquitaine would be something for John to have as compensation.
Did she actually sign, though? She
No.
took the ink pen. Didn't see her sign.
Yeah.
She's getting them here.
Wow. Mom and Dad are fighting again.
That's a lot of dogs.
Yeah.
She's like, what?
They're great for hunting. They're great for disposing of scraps. They're good for chasing off mice.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, okay, let me grab my cloak because I have no idea what the heck is going on.
Wait 10 minutes.
Why isn't her brother saying something? Like, why are you manhandling my sister?
Well, it's the Middle Ages. To him, she's as much a pawn as anything else.
It's like, you need to play your part, girl.
Yeah. Look at Jeffrey. He knows exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
Except for that dude.
The expected lifespan of a man back then, 30 to 35.
So wait, which one is the eldest son?
Richard.
Richard? The
I
guy
think
in
Richard
blue?
is the oldest.
It's
yeah.
Richard, Jeffrey, John. There was another Henry who died.
Well, I know the one on the far end is the youngest because he acts like a 5-year-old.
Right.
But I didn't know between the other two who was the oldest. He's like, oh, okay, I guess we'll go back to bed then. What is this Aquitaine thing he keeps talking about?
It's a province in France.
Oh, I thought it was like a gem or something.
No. And see, that's I get confused a lot because there was a very close connection between Britain and France for a long time. And so when you were divvying up, baronies and properties and so forth, it was all of England, it was France, it was any other holdings you might have had outside of the countries.
Yeah, it is a huge area of southern western France. It's on the water, right down near Spain.
Southern France. So good grape weather.
And the fact that she signed the document without reading it, she just signed over this piece of land if her choice marries the girl.
Yeah, but then again, it's
The problem is that she doesn't own it to give it away.
right.
Richard has the Aquitaine, and he don't want to give it up. Watch that. This is.
It's like, don't be acting all hurt now. Come on.
She's not acting.
No, yeah.
"50 is old."
But then it was.
It's like, don't be getting upset now. You had your chance to woo him, and you did something to get locked up.
Yeah, I mean, they have so much history. It's not like you can go back, but she still has her regrets. See, I see a long shot like this, and I think I could make that terrain for a tabletop campaign.
Yeah, Mr. Londell's movie say, it goes back to William the Conqueror.
Yep.
English kings ruled France. Yep, that's why and even centuries after this, there were still issues. 30 was old back then. Yep.
I mean, hell, look into the 24th century. Jean-Luc Picard has a British accent.
Okay, her hair looks really pretty like that.
Mm-hmm. I like that hanging from the nipples when you shock the children.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and a cool piece of history. Katharine Hepburn is related to Eleanor of Aquitaine.
No kidding.
Her crown.
From 2 different directions.
Wow. Did she know that at the time she played this role?
I'm not sure.
Mr. Londell says she looks like a mature hottie with her hair down. Yeah, she does. She does.
I kind of like his outfit.
Like I said, their outfits also hint at the person, too.
Yeah.
Because you got John just like, a bundle of bleh.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's
Richard,
like, I
that
can
rough
see
and
him-
rugged.
Right.
Yeah, I could, if this was like modern times, I could see him in expensive Italian suits.
Yeah.
Where I could see the youngest brother in blue jeans and a hoodie,
Yeah, I can
know?
see that. Sure.
and the other fellow somewhere in between.
I agree with Samuel Proctor. This movie seems to be doing a smart thing at the moment, staying within a small time frame, not squeezing decades into one movie.
Right.
Yes.
It is. It takes place over a couple days.
Yeah, that's the exact complaint that most people seem to be having about Napoleon right now. Same thing I was saying earlier about Midway.
Oh, stop shouting.
A very self-referential type of movie.
And syphilis wasn't a thing, at least by name.
Right.
What did John do? I missed that.
Remember, yeah.
No, go ahead.
He made a pact with Philip to war against his father.
Ah.
That was a pretty cool mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's shaped like a moon.
Well, that's Anthony Hopkins expressed anxiety about his performance compared to such people like Peter O'Toole and Katharine Hepburn. Hepburn advised him, "Don't act. Leave that to me. I act all over the place. You don't need to act. You've got a good face, good voice, and a big body.
Yeah.
Watch Spencer Tracy. Watch the real American actors that never act. They just do it.
Yeah.
Just show up and speak the lines." Hopkins to this day says the best advice he ever got.
Oh no. Looks like something out of a sitcom.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you guys hide behind the curtain.
That's what tapestries are for.
Now, this is intriguing.
Yeah. Come in anyway. Huh.
Quite a little backstory.
Yeah.
So he's gay?
A little bit, at least.
It's like, now who?
More tapestries.
That's what they're for.
They're torn. I thought the tapestries for getting stabbed behind by angry princes.
Right, right, right. Hmm. It's always been that way, Samuel. Power and money means you can do whatever you want, and it's none of anybody's business. Before the snakes left.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's like you did what now, son?
Yeah.
Coming out of the woodworks now.
Right. These guys are all idiots.
Yeah. You turd.
Duh.
Like, really? At two Bruto?
It isn't what you. He's the only one that reacts the way you'd think he would.
And why is he always kind of hunched over?
Because he's kind of a beta.
Yeah.
Talk about dysfunctional.
Very. but it's all about power.
I mean,
They all want it.
I gotta admit, if I was at this point, I'd tell my kids, screw all of you. I'm not leaving it to any of you guys. You guys kill each other over it.
I also noticed a certain consistency for genetics. All of them have blue eyes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so he basically said exactly what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, who else is hiding in here?
So now, Troy, you've never seen this. What would you do if you were the king right now? What would your plan be?
I mean, what would really surprise everybody is if he said to Philip, you know what? Why don't you just take over? Because honestly, if he does nothing, it's exactly what I had just said, right? They just got to fight it out for themselves.
Last man
I
standing.
like what Sagan Proctor is saying. So, like, you should consider the Imperial Roman way of succession adoption.
Yeah. But like I said,
that wasn't the way they did things in feudal England. Though.
True. Yeah, I think it should be it should be the Klingon way. You guys fight it out, and whoever's the last one standing, you earned it. Yeah, that's very astute, Mr. Londell. He played each of them against each other. Serves them right when they turn against him. Just don't poison them or you end up like Durowski. Good point. Excellent point.
I like the lighting on her face right there. It's like everything else is in shadow, but she's lit. She's a bright spot in his life. Sort of.
Alexander, to whom do you leave the empire? To the strongest. And then he dies. Yep.
Gotta jump. Jump, 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 jump.
Gosh.
But just love the look of this. I mean,
Yeah.
You see how strong he appears when he's like thinks he's got it all. He looks like the strongest man in the world. But
Yeah.
here, he's broken.
Yeah. It's good to be the king until it's not.
Yeah.
Right? Well, she certainly likes to sing.
Well, it was one of those, lady in waiting kind of things,
Yeah. I don't know, Mr. Lundell. I think Big Al might know better than I would.
Yes, he is Plantagenet.
I was just gonna say that's was that the Lancasters and the Yorks?
That was later, I think.
Oh, okay.
Back before the flood.
Yeah. Gosh.
I love that. I love that. Smiled to excess, but she chewed with a real distinction.
Okay, that makes sense, Sir Torn. Okay. I wasn't far off then. Wow.
Yeah, it looks like the Plantagenets the Lancasters merged with the Plantagenets eventually.
Let's hug now. We're gonna be besties.
Yeah. In these kinds of circumstances, you know what the problem with hugging is? You can't see where their hands are and if they're holding a blade.
Right?
Plantagenets were cutthroats. That explains a lot. Trading them for the Tudors did England a great favor. That's true.
Slow clap.
They just can't help but just going at each other.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, okay.
Ooh, that would hit her.
That's totally dysfunctional.
So, and all this does, whatever they've done to each other, all the bickering, the rebellions, she was still his wife. Back then, that was kind of a hard thing to, because you had to go to the Pope to get that changed.
So, those aren't her sons that are all messed up?
Oh, they're hers.
Okay, so then he's already got sons. Greedy.
Yeah, but he's disowning them. He wants to start over.
All right, here we go.
Shoot. Well, once. It's like just when
They-
they're starting to
Yeah.
get closer.
I know. And that's it. It's like you get them to a weak point and then you pounce. Walk in the treetops come morning. Ooh, she just pulled out the ace.
Yeah. Mm. My goodness.
She's a witch.
Kinda.
I mean, he's not any better, but
Yeah. No, they are very dysfunctional people.
It's almost like they can't help it. They've
Yeah.
got to such a point in their lives and their relationships with each other that hurting each other is
It's
like
how they
breathing.
relate to each
Yeah,
other. Yeah.
it's breathing to them. It's just so easy.
it's like, what, dude? It's like, gee, dude, like, slow your roll.
But he's in a tough spot being
Yeah.
50.
True.
Everything that Eleanor said is true. Time is against him. Chances are, it's the middle ages. Babies die at birth. So do the mothers. Can have a daughter.
They're gonna kill the sons?
No, gonna lock them up. Because Eleanor's right. They would come out. They would kill the baby if he had another one.
Yeah.
they would raise an army to fight against him. And if he's in Rome getting an annulment to the marriage, he's not exactly at home to be able to hold the ground. So he's got to keep them at bay.
I mean, at least the other two are wearing pants, and one's just in a bed dress, or we call them night dress.
Woof, 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 woof.
Dun dun dun.
Da, da, da. And I just realized again, this is Christmas time, right? This is a real joyous family Christmas. Okay, this is how history went. This was the first time that the royal family was celebrating Christmas, and it went so badly that it was centuries before they celebrated Christmas in England again.
Dun dun dun. I mean, what is this guy trying to do?
He's grounding the boys.
Good way to put it. You are grounded for years. It's such a simple line, but
Right.
Someone's like, "Is he excommunicating you again?"
It's like she can't hear all that noise?
It's a great way to put it.
Best angles on all the coins.
Genetics don't work that way. You determine the sex of the baby, dude.
Well, that's yeah. Well, she's talking sense, right?
She's really one of the few that does. I think she's been around them long enough. She knows how they think.
I actually don't.
How things work.
I actually don't know the answer to this. Samuel Proctor says, "What convinced the church to bring him back after the first time?"
Oh, he did penance. I'm sure he paid his fair price too.
So here's some gold. Now let me back in. Okay, cool.
Remember, you could always pay for indulgences, because that's how religion works.
Well, that's how the Catholic Church works.
Didn't stop the king from wishing for boys. Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. It doesn't really matter genetically who's responsible. It's not like either one really has a choice in the matter, consciously speaking.
Every time they go running down those stairs, I expect somebody to trip and face plant. So he's sending her back off to prison?
In theory, yeah. In practice, probably not.
At least she's being nice and holding it so that he can see where he's going. Okay, that would get me dizzy after a while. Like, dude, I'm on your side.
Well, they're at cross purposes.
Yeah, Eleanor paid him off.
Shush, it's almost over. It's almost over. Go to sleep, man.
That is a big key.
Yep.
Now lock her in.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Lincoln, blinking, and nod. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Samuel. Very realistic. I'd only do it wrong.
You kill them, I'll watch.
For crying out loud, the pointy end goes in the other guy. You can't do it wrong.
Well, like I said, John was never much of. I mean, he didn't. He earned the name Soft Sword.
Yeah.
She cries a lot.
He looks a lot like Jeremy Renner.
Yes, because putting them back in the box is really going to help things.
So do you.
You know, it would be so easy to kill him and stuff him in one of those barrels.
Yep.
I don't know why he bothered putting them back in the box to begin with.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, I get to choose one of these.
Richard sees what he's doing, doesn't he?
I'm sorry, but that youngest son is ugly.
Yeah. I mean, and he's kind of like, is nobody going to stop me?
I also think Kink is a little drunk.
I love the chanting that comes in.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody stabbed him in the back already.
That John, it's like, oh my gosh.
It's like, you're pathetic. Bye.
Oh my god.
Just a sheep? It's like, see what you did? Now he's not my boyfriend anymore.
Well, you know what they say, Troy.
Huh.
There were no strong women in cinema until just recently.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
This is a strong woman.
she looks just like Jennifer Lawrence.
No, you don't. They have to be the most pathetic couple ever.
You know, kinda.
Is that rumbling noise our furnace?
I think so.
I just thought I heard this rumbling. I'm like, what the heck is that? Hope we never die.
My goodness.
In a weird way, I think they kind of enjoy their Christmas together.
Yeah.
Now the boat sinks.
Next week, Lion in Winter 2, Ghosts of Georgia. My goodness. That is one exhausting family. My God.
But it's just fascinating to watch that dynamic between all the characters. Each one trying to outdo and maneuver and everything like that. Well, everybody, that is The Lion in Winter. One of my favorite films because I love performance pieces. This is definitely one of those where it's just it's got great writing and some of the best actors in the world performing it, and I've just always loved it. Plus, like, you know, I love a good medieval film. So this definitely has always been one of my favorites ever since I saw it. Slile's Review Movies, it's a great movie. Thank you. You're welcome, Lady Miss. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. Geek Flag, so never actually seen this movie before. I quite enjoyed it. Yeah, it's like I said, it's not this action-packed CGI mega work kind of a thing. It is just a great writing, great acting, great music. It just everything comes together, and it's almost perfect, in my estimation. But I'm glad those who watched it enjoyed it. I know I did. What'd you think, Troy and Nanette? I know they were a wacky family, but what do you think of the film, like, as a whole?
Well, it was definitely interesting.
Very diplomatically so.
I told you going into this, I'm willing to suspend my disbelief on the whole historical accuracy thing.
Right.
I feel even better about that now because, again, it was like, I think it was Samuel Proctor who pointed out, we're really only looking at 2 days here, right? The history is not at all important here.
Right. It's not it's not a movie about the history.
Yeah, it's not like they're talking about a particular battle or, a moment in history that changed, what came after or anything. It's just a look at characters. And in that respect, you'd be hard pressed to have somebody say, yes, this is the way Richard was, this is the way John was, whatever. I think they were painting the flavors of these characters without us having any of these details. Yeah, I'm okay with it.
It was taking the known personas and weaving an interesting tale around them, and it's like, this is kind of what these characters were like in some regards, and let's make up the situation. This is going on. I mean, there is a lot of historical. I hesitate to say the word facts, because it's not like full facts, but the history that kind of is around it is real. I mean, the family were very dysfunctional. There were rebellions against Henry. Eleanor was not exactly his, the favorite people. Now, I'm not sure about the whole he wanted John over Richard thing, but yeah, there was a lot of disruption within that family. But yeah,
I do like Geek Flag. It would be better to spend the holidays with a literal den of vipers.
Yeah, pretty much. And like I said, it's like Henry's ready to do it again at Easter. There's something weird about. There's always a masochistic aspect to it, and that he's willing to do it again because I think he kind of likes it. I think he loves her in his own weird little way. It
implies, I don't know if this is true historically or not, but it implies that with all the dysfunction, this is how they relate to each other. This is how things go with them.
He's locking her up, and you let me out for Easter?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, to me, a lot of the writing, like, it's like, if I were on fire, no one would piss on me to put me out, because let's strike a flint and see. And just little lines like that, I just think are just so well done. And if anybody's wondering, Alice never did marry anyone who would become king. Richard kind of dissolved that with Philip once he became king, and basically sent her back, and she had her own life with other people. So that is this one. Now, we're kind of switching things up a little bit in the next few weeks. We usually go week to week. Kind of doing a little dipsy doodle in December. The next 2 weeks are going to be Nanette's.
Yep.
And the last 2 weeks, Easter and just before New Year's. Sorry, Christmas.
Because he's thinking about Easter because of the
letting her
movie.
out for Easter. Christmas. I'm doing a very Christmassy film. Nanette was not, so she's giving me the 2 days before the Christmas Eve.
Yeah, unless you guys really want to watch a horror film on Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
I figured, let me give this one out because he's always Christmassy.
Yeah, which makes me now wonder what you've got coming up. But so yeah, well, I'll tell you what I've got coming up. What do you have coming up in the next 2 weeks, so we know?
Well,
What's
I
next
do
week,
need
first
to
of all?
schedule a watch party of the 300. So I'm not sure if I should do that next week on the 9th. What do you think, honey? Or should I wait till the 16th?
I would do it sooner than later. You just crossed 300, so...
Yeah, if I don't have any presents picked out yet. That's what I was thinking, maybe the 16th.
It's up to you.
Okay, so next week will be Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Ooh,
And had I
awesome.
followed my regular scheduled programming, the 16th would be The Cube, but it's going to be the 300 instead.
There we go.
Did you say the Cube?
Cube,
The Cube.
yeah.
Oh,
You know-
Creepy.
The one where they're trying to
I
escape
think-
from
Yeah,
the
I
cube.
think I don't think I've seen that one, but I've heard about it. So yeah, so see, this I always ask this so I know what to try to find and download
There you go.
for my own. Geek Flexi, we watched Violent Night for Christmas. Not this year. Not on the normal Saturday anyway. On the 23rd, which will be the next rewatch for me. So I'm taking a 3 week break. I'm going to be watching the story that started it all, the reason for the season. We're watching the Nativity Story. Starring Keisha Knight Hughes, and Oscar Isaacs. Back from, I think, 95. I don't have it in front of me, but or 2005. 2000, I think 2000. Just keep an eye out. But it's the Nativity Story for Oscar Isaacs. Karen Hines plays Herod, and got the the wise men, and it's the reason for the season. So I figured, why not? It's a nice little film. I think it'd be a very good film to watch during the Christmas time. On the 30th, not really a new year or end of year kind of film, although it came up on a search, and I don't know really what it has to do with that time of the year. But I thought a fun one would be. Wait a second here. I gotta. What is it? Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. Hold on. Operation Petticoat.
Oh, Operation Petticoat. Yeah.
With Cary Grant and Tony Curtis. Fun little naval story with a submarine, and that ends up getting painted pink. And
I love that movie.
yeah, it's a fun movie. I thought it'd be a nice, fun film to watch at the end of the year. And I've got a lot of cool stuff figured out. I know the two films we're doing in January. Well, one's 100%. The other one is 98% locked in. I just don't know when I want to show each one. I got January, I got February, and I got one from March. And I know July. What we're doing in July. I'll tell you guys later if it all holds up. But yeah, it's gonna be 2024 here soon. Oh my goodness!
Right.
Wow. But like I said, before the end of the year, we still got a whole week ahead of us to get through, starting with I know deleted scenes to tomorrow with help me.
Yeah, so tomorrow at I think it's like 3:00, and I forget if that's Central or Eastern. With Jedi Bill, Western Cinema presents.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Let me go to my MeWe group, and I can see what is coming up. Events.
Excuse me.
What is today? Today's the 2nd. So tomorrow, Western Cinema presents. I haven't put it up yet. So, sorry. Yeah, tomorrow, Western Cinema presents 2:00. I'm sorry. So 2:00 Central. That would be 3:00 Eastern on Deleted Scenes channel.
Oh, okay. And what's the film while you're there? Deleted scenes, so we know what the film is.
Exactly.
We'll wait for you to put it in. But also deleted scenes at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Unscripted. Don't know the title. I remember seeing it, but didn't really.
Oh, what was it? It was something like "Wish We Had More Time" or something like that.
He always has these very cryptic titles.
Yeah. I think I know what it's about, and it's probably going to dovetail real well into what I got coming up for Last Call next week. But then at
9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, there is Geeky Geezers on Aged Boomers channel. Got a preview for us at all? Anything?
Sure. We have a good deal of Disney news. We're going to be talking a little bit about the pending Nelson Peltz takeover attempt. We will be talking about a little bit about the Elon Musk throwdown with Disney. It all kind of dovetails together. It's
like everybody's on everybody's nerves. It's amazing.
I think people are getting tired of getting pushed around, and they're saying, "Look, put up or shut up." I think that's a lot of what's going on now, and I think there's a lot of people that are delusional about how much influence and in some cases how much finances they really have access to. So we'll be talking about that a good deal, and of course we will be doing a little bit of an in memoriam for Marty Krofft. So the good old days will be about the Krofft Super Show and some of the shows of the 70s that they influenced.
The Bugaloos.
The Bugaloos. Right.
Then at midnight, we have The Other Side of Midnight. At 12:05.
Yeah, it depends on what side of the
other
timeline
side.
you are, but for us it's 11 o'clock.
Also deleted scenes, who I still say doesn't sleep.
I know. He's got to be.
Either that or he has an absolute cellar filled with Monster Energy drinks.
He's actually what he hasn't told anybody is he is actually identical triplets, and they take turns. I think that's what it is.
Oh, I just thought it was a supply of cocaine and Red Bull.
That would be smart. That would be smart.
Then anything on Monday?
I don't think so. Well, I mean, technically, The Other Side of Midnight goes into Monday.
True.
Yeah, I stayed up for the whole show once. Never again.
She couldn't function the next day.
So nothing as of yet on Monday. On Tuesday, however, going back to Twin Peaks.
Yes, meet us at Sparkwood 21 at 7:30 Central. That'd be 8:30 Eastern, where we will be viewing and discussing the season finale, the first season finale of Twin Peaks. I think it's actually called Finale. It is a dense episode, so there's going to be a lot to talk about, and it does a good job of ending on a little bit of a cliffhanger to bring you back for season 2.
Very cool. Very cool. Wednesday, anything?
I have no idea. If there's any Birdman sightings, I would not know about it.
Birdman's busy doing Birdman things in real
Doing
life.
Birdman things, right? Okay.
He pops up every now and then for like a little live stream with something important's going on, or he's got packages, but no films planned as of yet that I'm aware of. But hopefully soon. Thursday night. I'm sure there's a thing.
There's a thing going on Thursdays, right?
My special guest would be Pacific 414.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's getting late, isn't it? No, it's okay. I understand.
On Friday, maybe I might do something in the 7:30 range. I haven't asked deleted scenes yet, but if you're open Friday, maybe we'll watch something or not. We'll see. You'll know. I might put it up. If not, I haven't really given it thought because I've been sorry. I'm still on a high of bad CGI gator. That's a coming review tomorrow.
Awesome.
But on Friday night, last call with Troy Pacelli.
Yep. So originally I was going to do a little bit of fuming about Doctor Who, which I still probably will be doing, but I think I'm going to take a cue from Dave Cullen and deleted scenes a little bit, and I'm going to talk about just, you know what, letting it go. About just there comes a point in fandom where let's face it, we don't own these properties and we don't have any control over them, and if the companies that do just want to blow them up and bury them, then maybe it's just time to walk away and start thinking about other things. But maybe a little ranty, but maybe a little bit little bit of closure, I think, for some of us in fandom. Not black pill, but not particularly white pill either. Maybe call it a gray pill.
Yeah, I did see that a very, very special guest in this week's episode.
Yes, it was. Yeah, so this past week we hung out with Dr. Marissa Pay. She's got a great talk show out on the...
I was talking about Doctor Who, but anyway.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about my last show.
No. I was talking about this week's show had a very special appearance by a spoiler alert. I don't know if I should clip.
Go ahead. Well, I mean, it's your show. You can spoil whatever you want.
Let's just say it's someone who's no longer with us, but they filmed this when he was still with us. Bernard Cribbins.
No kidding.
Yeah, Wilf was at the end.
Yeah. That's still not enough to get me back.
It was
It's
awesome.
really not.
It was awesome.
And that was Troy's favorite character.
He absolutely was, and that's probably why it's better for me not to see it, because I've let's face it, I loved David Tennant, and I don't feel any strong inducement to see these specials that he's in. Just, it's like, this isn't the Doctor anymore as far as I'm concerned. But I get what you're saying. What you're saying.
Which then, of course, will lead us into Saturday, and we're gonna be doing the Cube.
No, Saturday is going to be Crouching Tiger, Hidden
Crouching
Dragon.
Tiger. Hidden
Oh,
Dragon.
sorry, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Sorry.
I don't think Netter's ever seen it before.
I've seen bits,
Yeah,
but I haven't seen all the way through.
yeah. It's a good movie. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
But there you go.
Yeah, I gotta get all my streams listed. Oh, and for those of you who have been praying for my health, thank you so very much. I am feeling better. Still don't know what's wrong with me, but I am feeling better, so thank you.
We just definitely we do want you to get better. It's very, very. I mean, when you got someone who's not feeling well, it's always kind kind of sad to see them going through so much like that.
And
Yeah.
this has been
Hopefully.
going on for 2.5 months now.
Yeah, I gotta say that's just. But so hopefully soon they'll figure something. I almost said we, like I'm going to figure it out. Dr. Severson, thank you very much. But yeah, so like I said, my next thing is in 3 weeks, the Nativity story. But next week we're going to be hiding a dragon with a crouching tiger. That'll be a lot of fun. Saw that once. It is a very cool film. Did you ever see Hero with Jet Li?
I don't think so. No.
That's a good film too.
Okay.
So I just always, for some reason, always relate the two. I wonder why. But I'd like to thank everybody who was with us today for the Lion in Winter. I'm so glad we had a nice little group in here today. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. But I can't go anywhere. We cannot leave before Netter says her Netter things.
Y'all know what I always say.
Of course.
We can talk amongst ourselves, and that's all well good and fun. But it is so much more fun when you guys are joining us in the chat, and you're dropping comments, questions, trivia, being goofy, whatever it may be. And it doesn't feel like we're separated by miles or continents in some cases. It feels like we're all hanging out in the same room, enjoying each other's company and having a great time. And you guys aren't just our friends. You're our family. We love you guys, and we appreciate you so very much. You can be anywhere right now, and you chose to be here, and that is so super encouraging. So please make sure that you are subscribed to everyone in the chat. You are subscribed to me, Troy, and Al. If you think you're subbed to us, please go back and check, because YouTube sucks and likes to take away subs. And, you know, maybe have some of our videos playing in the background on a separate tab to give us a little bit of watch hours. And that goes for everyone. You know, so anybody in the chat that you're subbed to, play some of their videos in the background, give them some watch hours. Every little bit helps, and together we grow.
Any final words, Troy?
No. I just want to thank you for this movie tonight. I honestly have not ever seen it before, so I super appreciate you exposing me to it. It was good. It was definitely worth the watch.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Definitely, and that's why we do these things to show our friends a film they may never have seen, or a film we've all seen 1,000 times but enjoy it over and over and over again. That's why it's Films with Friends, because nothing beats a film with a friend. If we were only together, we'd be having like lots of pizza and popcorn floating around too.
Right.
Awesome. But anyway, I want to, like I said, I want to thank everybody again. Have a beautiful Sunday. All my Christian friends, have a happy first day of Advent. The season is starting officially. Actually, it is Advent now to me.
Yeah.
So hope everyone just has a lovely Sunday and a beautiful week ahead. Take care, everyone. And like I say, find something fun to watch. And keep an eye out for my review of Bad CGI Gator. God, I love that film.